Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على في العالم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise be to Allah. We praise Him. We ask for His help. We ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah in the from the weakness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be misguided for him. Whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness there's no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His messenger and servant. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. And give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. And bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily most worthy of praises and most noble. Today, inshallah, we'll continue with our 50 Quranic rules about concerning soul and life, and we actually finished the 14th rule. That is actually we talk about the rule that is if you not following the truth is actually you are following your desire, and following desire in our hawa in the Quran always come in the sense of or explanation about destruction and also badness. So that's why because I said in that ayah, فَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكَ, if they don't answer you to what you ask them, fa'lam annama yattabi'una ahwa'ahum, then know, O Muhammad, that they actually are following their desire, not following the revelation, not following the truth, but following their own desire. So that's why when you are not with Allah and His messenger, you actually with your own desire. It's not something that is actually you can freely have option about it. So today, inshallah, we will continue with our 15th rule. 15th rule of Quranic rule about soul and life. Is actually the sentence, a word or phrase from the verse in the Quran, in the verse of Surah Al-A'raf, verse number 128. And also in Surah Al-Qasas, verse number 83. That is the short form of word Wal-'aqibatu lil-muttaqin. And the ending is actually for the pious, for those who are pious. Hadihi Qā'idah min Qawā'id al-Qur'aniyyah. This is actually a rule from among the Quranic rule that is actually fixed. You don't have any other interpretation for it. Is that the meaning is so clear, and the application of this rule is actually so clear. Allati tab'athu al-amala fi nufusi ahli al-iman, that if we bring up hope inside the soul of the believers. Whoever have a belief in Allah, then this rule is actually will give them hope. when they are looking around, what happened today to the believers, what happened today in this world. So sometimes you become depressed. But when you remember this rule, that the ending always for those who are pious, have piety, then it will bring up in your in yourself the hope, the hope, the feeling of hope, the feeling of hope. Wa tamla'u qulubahum thiqatan wa yaqina. And also we fill up their heart with belief and also confidence. هذه القاعدة القرآنية جاءت مرة على لسان موسى عليه الصلاة والسلام. This rule, Quranic rule, came once on the tongue of Moses, peace be upon him, salawat and salam. Wa huwa yubashshiru qaumahu alladhi amanu bihi, when he is actually giving glad tidings, giving good tidings to his people that believe in him. Bihusnil akibati lahum fid dunya wa qabla al-akhirah, with good ending, good result for them in this world before the hereafter, before the last day. Wa tamkinu fil ardi, and also a stable situation on the earth. In whom lazamut taqwa, if they always be with taqwa, with piety. If they always be piety, then the ending for them, the result for them will be always be with them. Successful always. That's actually what Moses is actually promising his people. Waja'at hadhil qa'idatu bilafzin muqaribin. And this qa'idah, this rule also came with near words, actually almost similar words with that what being said by Moses. Fi khitabillahi ta'ala nabiyhi Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the saying of Allah to his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, fi khawatimihi suratil Taha, in the ending of the surah Taha, in surah Taha verse number 132. Allah Ta'ala said, wa'mur ahlaka bis salat wastabir 'alaiha. Command, O Muhammad, tell, O Muhammad, your family to do the salah, and also they have to be patient about doing it. Will come days that it's really so hot, or there come days that they are tired, but they have to be patient to continuously doing the salah. La nas'aluka rizqa, we don't ask from you, O Muhammad, any provision. Means that provision, food or anything, we don't ask from you. Just do the salah, do the prayer, and it's actually beneficial for you, not for us. Nahnu narzukuka, we are actually the one who give you provision. Wal aqibatu lit taqwa, and the ending is for the piety. Is the piety. Whoever have piety, then the ending will be for them. The good result, the last thing will be with them. Waja'at hadhil qa'idatu ayda, and this qa'idah, this rule also came ba'da intiha'i qissati Qarun, at the ending of the story of Qarun. We know that Qarun is one of the people of Moses. He is actually one of the Israelites. But when Allah Ta'ala gave him something more than others, so he felt that his wealth is actually exceeding anybody at that time. Even Allah Ta'ala said about that the treasury for his wealth being held up by few men for the key of the door only. The key of the door for his treasury was being held up, being said by some of the scholars, 20 people, 20 big people holding the key to open his treasury for his wealth. So he felt that he have everything. So he started to be arrogant and not following the command of Allah through Moses, peace be upon him. So Allah Ta'ala in the end make him sank into with all his wealth into the earth. And until now, the Prophet SAW said, until now he's still ongoing inside the earth. That's why in Malay culture, wrongly be used about any treasure you found inside in the earth, you will say harta karun, the wealth of Qarun. Even though Qarun and his wealth is still sinking in the earth until today, until the end of the day. But we are talking whenever we find something inside, in the earth, we dig it up and we'll see this is harta Qarun, the treasury of Qarun. That's one of the understanding what is wrong. So in the end of the story, Allah Ta'ala said in the end of Surah Al-Qasas, Qala Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Qasas verse number 83, Tilka darul akhirat naj'aluha lilladhina la yuriduna uluwan fil ardi wala fasada. Tilka darul akhirah. That is the land of the akhirah. The land of the akhirah. That we made it for those who doesn't want to be to be high in this world. Means that they doesn't want to be higher than anybody else in this world. Wala fasada, and those they also don't want to be to make destruction in this world. Wal aqibatul muttaqin, and the ending is actually for those who have piety, or those who are pious. Those who are pious, the ending is for them. Means the ending for everything. In the end, they will get everything that Allah Ta'ala promised them. من المعلوم أن العاقبة هنا لا تنحصر في الآخرة. From things that is known from what we recite and also known from what we taught by the Prophet ﷺ, that the ending that we mentioned in this ayah is not only in the akhirah, not only in the last day. Allati damanallahu najata fiha lil muttaqin, that Allah Ta'ala already promise or give guarantee safety and success in that hereafter or the last day for those who are pious. Already been given by Allah the guarantee. But we are talking about here now, right now, in this life. Kama fi qawlihi azza wa jalla, wal akhiratu inda rabbika lil muttaqin, and the last day with your God is actually for those who are pious. The last day is for them. It's like by being said the Prophet ﷺ, that the Prophet said, Allah Ta'ala give this world to whoever he like or he doesn't like. But he only give the last day, the end of the day, for those who he love or he like. Bal hiya amatu fid dunya. So it's actually this verse that we are this rule that we are talking about is actually general for dunya and akhirah, for this world and the last day. Walakin qabla an nas'ala aina hadhihi al-qa'idati fi min waqi'ina. But actually, before we ask where is this rule in our reality right now, in our life, where is this qa'idah? Where is this rule is applicable, that always the ending, the end result is for the pious? Where is it now? Before we ask that question, falnas'al aina tahqiqut taqwa ala wajhi sahih. Where is the reality of piety with the right form, the right way? Because when you want, because Allah said that the ending, the result, the last is for those who are pious. So where is the piety? How can you get the piety? That is the first question. Wa illa fa wa'dullah la yatakhallafu. Because Because if not like that, then the promise of Allah is never ever being late. Allah Ta'ala never ever broke his promise. He'll never break his promise. He'll always be ready to give you whatever he promised you. But that is the question, whether the taqwa is there. The taqwa have been done, or the piety has been done correctly. Then only we ask the first question that we say that we don't want to ask, where is this rule in our reality in our life right now? So ask first about the piety, because that is the reason for you to get the good ending. So the piety first. Inna adna ta'ammulin limaji'i hadhihi al-ayati ma'atanawi siyaqatiha. By little, or by a little of looking into the coming of this ayah, the story of the ayah, even though the context is actually vary. When Allah said to the Prophet SAW, or about the story of Moses with his people, or story of Qarun after Allah sang him and also his wealth. So the context is actually vary. But now we have to know that we have to look into this ayat. All the ayat that came about wal-aqibatul muttaqin, that ending is for those who are pious. So we have to look into it. When we look into it, la yuwaddihu bi jala'id ittiradin hadhil qa'idati. It will show clearly, very clear about the implement of this Qā'idah. Means this Qā'idah, this rule is actually is clear. Doesn't have to, you don't have to think about it, because all the story of the place where the rule came is so clear. The reason, because what Moses want to say to his people, what Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and what being said after the story of Qarun. So for those who look into this all the ayah, they can see clear that this ayah is so clear cut, so clear to be implemented. Doesn't have any uncertainty. Faqad akhbara biha Rabbuna Jalla wa Ala fi qawlihi, that Allah, our Lord Allah, told us about this Qā'idah in all that ayah, fi qawlihi wal aqibatul muttaqin, and the ending is for those who actually have piety. Ba'da qissat Qarun, and after the story of the Qarun, wal aqibatul muttaqin, and the ending for those who are pious. Wa bashara biha Musa wa nabiyina alaihi wassalam, and Allah Ta'ala also give glad tidings with this rule to Moses and to our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them, so that we know all of it is actually related. Wal haqiqatu, in reality, al aqibatu, the ending, means that something will come after another. Actually, you say about your whatever come after you is aqib. Annaha kullu ma yaqibu amra, anything that come after something is called aqibah. Wa yaqa'u fi akhirih min khairin wa syarrin, and also the ending can be said to be goodness or badness, because the goodness, the good ending is for those who pious, and the bad ending for those who do evil thing. Is the same, is understood like that. Illa annaha ghalaba isti'maluha fi umur khair, except that it's always being said that aqibah will be said to good thing that will happen, even though whatever come after you do this, the consequences of something can be good or bad, but always being used the word aqibah for things that is actually good, for the good thing that will come. فالمعنى أن التقوى تجيء في نهايتها عواقب خير. So the meaning that piety will come in the end of its in the end of its implementation. Means that if you have the taqwa, the ending for the taqwa is always goodness. The ending of having taqwa, of having piety, is always goodness in the end. Wallam fi qawlihi ta'ala lit taqwa wa lil muttaqin lil milk. The word, the lam, there is 4. Wal akibatu lil muttaqin. The lam is for the meaning of milk. Means that possession, will possess. Like we said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. All praises be to Allah. Means owned by Allah. Is owned by Allah. Like the same, we said here, the lam in the saying of Allah, lil taqwa and lil muttaqin, lil milki is for possession. Tahqiqan li iratil khairi min al akibati, to realize, to make it actually to materialize the desire of goodness from the ending. Lianna sya'na lamul milki an tadulla ala nawalil amril mar'u. Because the meaning of the lam for the meaning of possession in Arabic is showing about getting something that is wanted by the person. You want that, then you will get that. Means that wal akibatu muttaqin means that all the pious people want the good ending. So they will get the good ending. They will get the good ending. Wa inama yattaridu dhalika fi akibatil khairil akhirah. And also the meaning of getting the good ending is always being understood directly about the ending of the goodness of akhirah. وَقَدْ تَكُنُ الْعَاقِبَةُ فِي خَيْرِ الدُّنْيَا أَيْضًا لِلتَّقْوَى. And sometimes the good ending, in goodness of worldly matter, also for the piety. Except that is actually sometimes because Allah Ta'ala made this world is actually for the, like the Prophet SAW said, ad-dunya sijnul mu'mini wa jannatu kafirin. The dunya is actually prison for those who are for the believers, and it is paradise for those who doesn't believe. Is that for the believers, they always have the hurdle and the trial from Allah. Ad-dunya sijnul mu'mini wa jannatu kafirin. The dunya is prison for the believers and paradise for the non-believers. Because that is what you should understand about this world, because this is for trial. The world is trial for you. So basically, when you look into the story of the prophets before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, most of them in their da'wah, in their works to call people towards Allah, most of them doesn't get the result. If you think about the result, then most of them doesn't get the result. Always the believers who believe in them so small in numbers. The non-believers is so big. And in the end, when Allah Ta'ala punish the non-believers, then the believers is actually always little people that will still survive. Like the story of Noah, the story of Abraham. When you look into that story, you can see that in this worldly life, most of the believers, most of the pious people will not get everything. You cannot get everything. Because you being promised by Allah that for you, the last day. That's why when he said here, sometimes the ending, the good ending, the ending in goodness of the worldly matter, also will be for those who are pious. We say sometimes. But about the hereafter is actually being guaranteed by Allah. About this life, then why he said sometimes? Because the reality, when you look into the story of the prophets of Allah, the messengers of Allah, The story is actually not like what we think about it. They always being rejected by their people, being stoned, and some of them being killed. If you look into the story of the three messengers of Allah being sent in Surah Yasin, Allah sent to one village 3 messengers, not one messenger, 3 messengers, and in the end, all of them being killed by the people, along with the believers that came and advised them to follow the messengers of Allah. So if you look at that worldly matter, the worldly life, then you will see that as if that the good ending is not for them. Even though the way that Allah Ta'ala make them die is actually the way for Allah Ta'ala to lift up their rank in the paradise. The way you die will change, will make a difference in your rank in paradise. So Allah Ta'ala choose for them that way to die. That is actually the way Allah Ta'ala want them to have high rank in the paradise. But anyway, for people who are materialistic, like in our life today, some people will say that where is the goodness in this world? We believers, but what happened to us? What happened to us? Why didn't we get a good economy, good weapon, good everything? Why? So some people will say something else. That is actually what our author want to say here, because the hereafter, the akhirah, is being guaranteed by Allah. But in this world, Allah Ta'ala will give us sometimes and will not give us in another time. And also, all the thing is actually good for us, because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ajaban li amril mu'mini." It's actually so weird for the affair of a believer. Anything befell on him is always good. If he got something from Allah and he being grateful, he make shukr towards Allah, that is the best for him. And if he befell upon him any calamity, any disaster, and he be patient, that is also the best for him. Nothing is bad. Means that the two side of situation, the believers always get goodness from Allah. So we want to understand about that, because the Prophet or the messengers of Allah, peace be upon them, most of them is actually being tried with their own people. Actually, not really with good situation. Not like our time today, when you become a guru or ustaz or sheikh, then people will follow you to where you want to go and everything. The Prophet doesn't get, the messengers of Allah, most of them doesn't get that. They're being opposed by his people, being thrown stoned by his people, being sent away by his people. But we can see the situation. We cannot say that they don't get the good ending. We are getting the good ending. No, don't ever think like that. This is wrong. Because what you say here, because the hereafter is being guaranteed by Allah. But in this life, there's a trial that Allah Ta'ala will make for each one of us, especially the believers, to lift up their rank in the hereafter. By the trial, they will get higher rank in the akhirah. وجاءت هذه الجملة بهذا الأسلوب لتؤكد معنى العموم. And this phrase, عاقبة المتقين, came with this type of words or the context to ensure the meaning, the general meaning of of the rule. أي لا تكون عاقبة إلا للتقوى. That is actually will not be the good ending except for the piety. فهذه الجملة أرسلت مجرى المثل. So whatever being said here about Moses, about our prophet, about Qarun, and after the story of Qarun, is just as an example, just as an example, so that anybody want the same treatment by Allah to get good ending, then piety must be in yourself. You cannot say that I don't want that. That is for Moses only. That is for Muhammad only. Because this is for the example. For example, for us, it's as an example for us. Ma ahwajana wa nahnu nushahidu ma nushahidu. We really need, while we are witnessing what we are witnessing today. In ala mustawal fardi awil jama'i. Either it is from the level of individuals or in the society. An nata'ammala hadhil qa'idah, that we must really look into this rule. This rule we really need this rule right now, because we want good ending. But people doesn't want to do the taqwa, but they want the good ending. How can that be? Well, nabda bil isharati ila mustawal jama'i. We'll start to point out to the level of society about this rule. Fa inna ummatal islami tamurru mundu qurunin bihalati min ad-dha'fi wa tafarruqi wa tasallutil a'da ala kathir min abna'iha. The nation of Islam, the people of Islam, has passed through centuries in a situation of weakness, of ununity, doesn't unite each other, and also being oppressed by the enemy upon many of its children, the people of Islam. وهذه حال تجعل بعض الناس من المنتسبين للإسلام. This is a situation that is making some of the people who actually related to Islam, he's Muslim, born Muslim, or from the Muslim family, but قد يبحث عن موطئ قدم خارج دائرة الإسلام, that they may try to seek for a stand, what to do outside of the circle of Islam, because they are looking like as if Islam is not giving the solution for their life. So they are running away to seek about that, even though right now we know that clearly the majority of Muslim nation in this world, country in this world, doesn't implement the rule of Allah. The command of Allah is not being implemented in all the country. Most of it maybe take partially in banking, in some of the rule they took it, but as a whole, Islam, no, they don't take Islam. So this thing is actually doesn't came to the mind of those who actually running away from Islam to seek something for a stand outside of the circle of Islam. فَيَذْهَبُ غَرْبًا أَوْ شَرْقًا. So he went to the west and to the east, seeking for the solution. بَحْثًا عَنْ مَبَادِئِ أُخْرَى, searching for other values than Islam. وَمَذَاهِبٌ مُخْتَلِفَةٌ, and also different ideologies. Some of them become socialists. Some of them become any other group. Even this is not from outside the country of Arabs only. Even the Arabs country, the people there also being searching like that. Some of the Arabs become socialists, become communists, because they want to have the new solution about making the country be better. But they are searching outside from the circle of Islam. Different ideologies, la tamut ila Islam bisilatin, that all of that, either the values or the ideologies, doesn't have any connection with Islam. Doesn't have any connection with Islam. But why they are searching? Bisabi syu'urihil ba'isi bihazimati dakhiliyati. Because of his feeling. His lost feeling about the being defeated from inside himself. If he feel that he being defeated from inside, so he want to search outside of Islam, to search for the solution for his nation, for his people. Walima ta'anihi ummatu al-islamiyatu min tafarruqi wa tashaddin wa tasharrumin wa fil waqti dhatihi in biharihi bitaqaddumil madi. Because of why he become that, also because of what being happen or experienced by the ummah of Islam, the people of Islam, being experienced about ununity and also fighting each other. So they think that something wrong here. Wa fil waqti dhatihi, and at the same time, those people who running away from the circle of Islam, in biharihi bitaqaddumil madi, he being impressed. He is being impressed by the materialistic modernization that in the Western country or the Eastern country. Wa ma yujadu fi tilkal bilad, and also what is there inside those countries. Min mahsahini tata'allaqu bi huquqil insan, from goodness that related to the human right. Being said there, here human right. People can say anything they want. We're not being oppressed by the government. So some of that people running away from Islam because they thought that the right is actually being taught by the Westerners, not from Islam. So they thought about that. وغيرها من المجالات, and also other field other than that. وَالْمُؤْلِمُ فِي أَمْثَالِ هَؤُلَاءِ, but the sad thing about those people who actually running away from the circle of Islam, because whatever happened in Islam, أَنَّهُمْ لَمْ يَرَوْا مِنْ حَضَرَةِ الشَّرْقِ أَوْ الْغَرْبِ إِلَّا الْجَانِبَ الْإِيجَابِ وَالْحَسَنِ, that they don't look into the civilization of the East or the West except the positive side and the good side of it. They only look at the positive side and the good side. وَعُمِيَتْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ, but at the same time, their eyesight, their sight being blind. أَوْ تَعَامُ, or they don't want to look into jawanibil muslimah, the dark side of those countries. Actually, they said that they have this, they have that, but the thing that happening inside those countries, that those countries actually cannot do anything about it, and especially the dark side of it, they don't want to talk about that. Wama aksaruha, or is actually many of it. Like what once before, I met you can say a journalist from one of the television station in Malaysia. When they came to Yemen, and I became their translator when they want to go to some places to make arrangement to send the video, whatever happened here in Yemen, when our Prime Minister meeting somebody, the video will be sent to Malaysia to be shown to the television station. So when I was one of them, when I was doing translation for him and talking with him, he started to say something bad about the Islamic society. He said that I don't know why, but this country is so dirty. And like Pakistan, I see something like that. Many things. I see something the same is happening there and here. So dirty. People essentially doesn't care about the water being here or there, about the smell. He said something like that. So he praised the Westerners, the whatever happened there, and also the East. So I said to him, I, I said to him that I accept whatever you said about this country, but you have to understand that the government is not governing the country as being told by Islam. They are using secular law. They are doing secular law in the country, governing by secular mind, separating between the religion and the country in this worldly matter. So that's the first thing. So don't ever put the blame on Islam. Secondly, if you say to me about whatever happened here, but they are peaceful. Those people are peaceful. You cannot get the same peace that you get in Yemen if you go even to United Kingdom, or you go to another Western country. Even though the people is actually wearing the jambia on their body, they have the AK-47 on their shoulder, but they don't shoot around people like what happened in USA right now. But at that time, the thing that doesn't came up yet. So I just told him about, okay, we talk about this. This country is actually the people is dirty. But at the same time, I want to ask you, which is the highest suicide rate country in the world? At that time, it was Japan. Second was Korea. Now Japan was falling to the rank of 11 or 13. But before, Japan is number 1 in the world, highest suicidal rate. So I said to him, if all the thing is there, the cleanliness, the politeness and everything, why are the people there become like that? If you've been given a choice to have a dirty sun dirty, not clean, but have a sound mind with another son that is actually so clean, but is crazy, not sound in mind, who will choose? You will choose the sound mind, even though he's dirty, because you can fix that. But the craziness inside that person, you cannot fix that. So I said, you have to look into things that really that doesn't have here, but it's better here than the other places. That's the problem. Like being said here, when they look into the Western society or Eastern society, they will always see the goodness. They don't see, or they don't want to say about the dark side of that country or that people. وَمَا أَكْثَرُهَا هَذِي الْحَضَارَةُ الَّتِي اعْتَنَتْ بِالْجَسَدِ. This civilization, they is taking care of the body. أَحْمَلَتِ الرُّوحِ, they doesn't give any attention towards the spirit or the soul. أَمَّرَتِ الدُّنْيَا وَخَرَبَتِ الْآخِرَةِ. They build up the dunya, but they destroy the akhirah. وَسَخَرَتْ مَا تَمْلِكُهُ مِنْ أَسْبَابِ مَادِيَةٍ فِي تَسَلُّطِ عَلَى الشُّعُوبِ الْمُسْتَضْعَفَةِ. And they manipulate whatever they have to become a reason, a material reason in overpowering any weak nation. That being done by the Great Britain, that being done by the Spain, Italy, those colonial nation, whatever be done. Until now, the things being done by them is still happening inside the country, like in Africa. The French as a country, if you know, that they are still inside their museum, on the basement of the museum, the skull of the people of Algeria or any nation that they go to is there until now, being kept inside their museum. 1,000, not 10, not 100, 1,000, same as been done by Pol Pot in Cambodia. The same thing. Or even worse. Never ever they have the intention to give back all the remains of the those who people they kill while colonizing the nation, the other nation. But people doesn't talk about that. You don't talk about that. Wa farada thaqafatuha, and also they implement their knowledge or their civilization, their culture being implemented on that country. Like when you look into Lebanon, in Egypt, most of it, the way of the clothing happen. When colonization happened, they implement the way of their culture on that nation. Wa ajnadha ala ma tasha, and they use those nation for whatever they want. But this thing not being looked by our Muslim brothers that is actually so fascinated with the Western or Eastern civilization. They don't look into it. What happened being done by those people. Ala sabil misal, and as an example, فإن نظام الثورة الفرنسية التي قرر مبادئ الحقوق الإنسانية والمساواة بين البشر. The revolution system of France revolution system that implement that implementing or being taken from them the values of human right and the equality between human kama yaz'umu wadi'uhu, as being said by whoever made that rule or that system. Lam yamna'hu min ibadati thuluthi sukkani jaziratil Haiti. That thing that they are saying about the equality, the human right, that system or that rule that they are saying about that doesn't stop them from destroying or killing 1/3 of the people of Haiti. 1/3. They kill 1/3 of the people of Haiti. لأنهم تمردوا على عبودية, because they doesn't want to be slave. They revolt. They're revolting upon slavery. Kama ana Qa'id al-Fransi al-mashhur Napoleon is as being also also being known that the famous French general Napoleon, alladhi anjabat thawratul Fransiyah, that was the man who made way for the French Revolution. Ja'a ila biladi Misr, he came to the Egypt, the country of Egypt, liyahtallaha, to colonize them, wa yuqimu nizaman istimariyan fiha, and to prevail the colonization system in Egypt. They would want their people to be free, but they are trying to colonizing others. Doesn't want to be people of the king in their country and making other people to take them as a king. The same being done. Wal amsatu kathiratun la yatasi'ul maqamu li sardiha. And examples is so many. The place our writing here right now doesn't have the place for us to tell it everything of it. Fadlan an tafsili fiha. Moreover, for us to give a detail about that. Walakin la'alla min al-munasibi, but maybe from among things that is actually appropriate, an nudhakira bi qadatil inhiyari an-nizam al-iqtisadi ar-ra'simali, that we remind about the falling of the capitalist system, economic system, alladhi qama ala musadamati manhajillahi al-adili fi sya'nil mal, that being lift up the system of capitalism, being lift up to go against the discipline the just discipline that Allah Ta'ala put about wealth. Fara'a arbabahu sirqa ma tawa'adullahu bihi akal riba min al-mahki. Then whoever actually doing that, the capitalism system about eating the riba, what Allah Ta'ala said about them, Allah Ta'ala promised what happened to them from about will not get any barakah. They will not get any barakah. This is actually what we can see in 1999, the starting when also in 2011, when the bank, most of the bank in USA, Lehman Brothers and everything, all the big bank become bankrupt because of the way about using riba system being done by them. At first, they said that they want to give everybody the interest. They taking their money, give the interest, big interest. But in the end, they cannot give back to the people whatever they promised until being bailed out by the US government. That is what we can see being said by Allah. There's no barakah. Yamhaqullahu riba. Allah Ta'ala will make a non-profit the riba. Wa yurbis sadaqat. But sadaqah will be giving by Allah the barakah, the blessing. Wa fi kulli yawmin nasma'u an milyarat dha'i'ah. Every day we are listening, we heard about billion being lost by those banks. Wa syarikatil alamiyatil aflasat, and also big company, international company become bankrupt. Wa mi'atil bunuk ughliqat ala mustawa al-alam, and hundreds of banks being closed in all over the world. Hinaha qala man qala. At the same time, some of the people is saying, some of the people is saying, la budda min al-audati ila manhajil Islam fi iqtisad. We must go back to the Islamic system in the economy. At the same time, the word is there, but nobody is going there. They only saying that verbally, but not by doing that intentionally. Wasadakallahu, and verily Allah is so most truth when He said, "Waman ahsanu min Allahi hukman liqaumin yuqinun." And who is actually better in giving ruling than Allah, for those people who actually have the yaqeen, have the belief. Wasadakallahu, and is actually really truth. Allah Ta'ala said, "Wal-aqibatu lil-muttaqin," and the ending is actually for those who have piety, who are pious. Because in the end, after the trial, whatever happened, in the end they said, Islam is the solution. That is the thing. Ala ma ahwajad duwalil islamiyah wal jama'atul islamiyah fi biqa'il ardi ila yatadabbaru hadhil qa'idati jayidan. Oh, really needs all the Islamic countries and also all the Islamic group all over the world to look into this Qā'idah carefully. Wa ayata'ammalu fil awaqib alladhi janaha mukhalifu taqwa fil anzimati wal hukmi wash suluk. And they have to look into also to carefully look into the ending that that all the whoever against the taqwa, whoever against the piety in any system or ruling or also in their manners, either system, country, ruling or manners. What they get from their system or ruling or manners that go against the taqwa. What do they get? You have to look into that, because when you look into that, you understand they actually is not doing the good thing. Like when you say about that, like in India, people are saying about India as a country. Here, in India, woman is not safe at all. It's known to many people. They actually, in their cultures, showing the stomach and the back of the body is actually permissible. Not covering their head is something else. But showing off their stomach is actually said that is permissible. But at the same time, they are seeing the result of that thing. The result is actually rape, ranking in the world, one of the highest rate in the world. Essentially, they said about in 1 hour, 4 rapes will happen every 15 minutes. If they spread the statistic in a year, that every 1 hour, 4 women. And I thought that's actually quite big. But when we look into USA, the number is so high, more high than that. They said that every 60 second, one woman will be abused, sexually abused in United States of America. So some people are saying about the goodness they see in Western country, the freedom. They didn't look into the dark side. They don't want to look into the dark side. That's the problem that they're having. So if you look into that, you know that whatever being told to us by Allah for us to do, like covering our aurah, is the ending. The good ending is for us, not for them. Those who go upon against the piety, they will surely will not get the good ending. Waman tadabbara maji'u qawlihi ta'ala ala lisani Musa wa huwa yukhatibu qaumahu al-muttahidina iddata qurun. And whoever ponder upon the meaning about the coming of the saying of Allah in the end about al-akibatul muttaqin on the tongue of Moses, when he is actually giving speech to his people that being suppressed, they being oppressed many years, 100 years, if not 1,000, 100 years. He said in Surah Al-A'raf verse number 128, Allah said that is what the ending after that. The beginning, Moses said, Ista'inu billahi wasbiru. Ask help from Allah, with Allah, and be patient. Innal arda lillah. The earth is actually belong to Allah. Yurithuha man yasha. He will inherit the earth whoever he want. He give the earth to whoever he want. Wal-'aqibatu lil muttaqin, and the good ending is actually for those who have piety. Arafa hajatud dual wal mujtama'at li arifa hajatud dual wal mujtama'at li yatadabbara hadhihi al-ayat al-jayyida. Arif, you have to know hajatud dual, the needs of all the country, wal mujtama'at, and all the society, to ponder upon the meaning of this ayah carefully. Wa anna wa'dallah, and the promise of Allah, because what being told by Moses is before what happened to the Pharaoh, before Allah Ta'ala saved them from the Pharaoh. This is actually the talking before that. They being oppressed by Pharaoh, being killed and everything, 100 of years before the came of Moses. Then Moses tell them about the success, the goodness will come after piety. So it come here that the promise of Allah, la yatakhallafu liman ittaqahu, will not ever being put down for those who actually have piety towards Him. Dualan kana aw syu'uba, either it is actually a country or actually a nation, a group of people. Because when Moses was talking to them, there are actually thousands of them at that time. وَتَعَمَّلْ قَوْلُ مَنْ أَوَاكِبُ الْأُمُورِ كُلِّهَا إِلَيْهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. And look carefully into the saying of the one who all the ending of everything is in written to him, Azza wa Jalla. Because anything will happen is because whatever he want, what he said in Surah Al-Hajj, verse number 41. He said, Alladhina immakkannahum fil ardi. The people that when they been given place in this world, aqamus salata, they reveal, they doing the salah. Wa atauz zakata, and they give away the alms, zakah. Wa amaru bil ma'ruf, and they telling people, commanding people to do the goodness, the goodness. Wa nahu anil munkari, and they forbade other people and themselves also from doing the munkar, the bad. Walillahi akibatul umur, and belong to Allah, the ending of everything, the ending belong to Allah. So if you want to have place in this world, then do the things that Allah Ta'ala told you to do. That is the thing. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَعْرِفَ آثَارَ السَّيِّئَةِ الَّتِي لَقِيَهُ الْعَالَمُ حِينَ بَعُدَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ عَنْ دِينِهِ. And whoever want to know the consequences, the bad consequences that the world is actually facing it when the Muslim is actually going away from their religion. And also khasarat al-alam li azimi mabadi al-Islam, and also the loss of the world towards because of the greatness of the value of Islam. Falyaqra kitab Syekh Abdul Hasan An-Nadawi, then read the book of Abdul Hasan Ali An-Nadawi rahimahullah, entitled Madha khasral alamu bi inhitatil muslimin. What the world lost because of the lackness or the backing up of the Muslim. The Muslim is not, the Muslim people is not here in this world to govern, to go into the governance of the world. Then look what happened to the world. Because when Islam came to this world, in that book, if you read, when Muhammad SAW came, the world is actually going, nobody is giving any benefit to others. The Hindus with their caste, the China at that time war against each other, the Jew, the teaching is for their family only. The Christian, they are actually fighting each other about is Jesus God, or God is actually entering Jesus, or Jesus son of God. So they are actually conflicting each other, and the Arabs by their own way. So when Allah Ta'ala sent Muhammad, the advent of Muhammad, making all the world become realizing about the human right, the woman rights, the animal right, and it's everything. Because that is the beginning for us to see people is actually knowing others' right, respecting others, and the peace that came after Islam, making a woman from Iraq can come to the Kaabah doing tawaf and not afraid except Allah. But before that, you pass any road, then people will rob you. The robbers is actually everywhere. Every Arab tribe is actually like to rob people who passing by their village. But when Islam come, whatever we are actually experiencing right now is after Islam. You don't know before Islam. But the book of Abu Hasan An-Nadawi, the Madha Khasral Alam bin Hitatul Muslimin, what the world lost because of the backness of Islam, the Muslimin become backing off, that what the world lost actually because of that. There's a really good book. I think the translation upstairs. There's one of it. You can find it there. That is actually from the level of nation or countries. Amma al-mustawa al-fardi. And if it's actually among the level of individual level, فإن الحديث فيها يحتاج إلى بسط أكثر. Then the discussion about it must have more explanation. لكن حسبنا في مقامنا هذا أن نشير إشارة مذكرة. But it is enough for us in our saying today to show or to point out at the point to remind about بأهمية هذه القاعدة في حياتنا اليومية, about the importance of this rule in our daily life. فإن آية القصص والعاقبة للمتقين, because the ayah of Surah Al-Qasas والعاقبة للمتقين, and the ending or the good ending is actually for those who are pious. جاءت بعد قصة قارون, it came after the story of Qarun. الذي لم يصبر على شهوة المال, that is actually he doesn't have patience to the lust of wealth. His lusting after the wealth, always seeing wealth is the thing that making him where he is. وفي هذا إشارة إلى حاجة العبد رجلا كان أو امرأة. And this in this point there is actually in this story there is actually a point to about the needs of the servant of Allah, male or female. ليتدبر هذه القاعدة, to carefully ponder upon this rule. خصوصا وهو يعيش في جو المغريات والفتن والصوارف عن دين الله عز وجل. Especially he is living in the environment that is actually so tempting and also trial and also diverting from the deen of Allah. All the environment is taking you away from the deen of Allah, from the religion of Allah. ليتهون عليه الصبر على الشهوات, so that it's become easy, light for him to be patient about any desires, any lust inside his soul. وملذات المحرمة, and also the forbidden enjoyment, anything enjoyment but actually forbid by the religion. فكلما دعته نفسه إلى ما يخالف التقوى. So whenever his soul is calling him to whatever opposite the taqwa, فليذكرها بحسن العاقبة المتقين. So he must remind his soul, himself, about the good ending for those who have piety in this world and the hereafter. Remind yourself, make yourself realize that you actually wanting the good ending. Tell yourself, why must I do this? Because sometimes the things, the pleasure, the worldly pleasure or the forbidden pleasure of this world, the duration is so short. Maybe 1 hour, 3 hour of duration. But the loss that you have is actually for forever. For the last day is forever. So hold yourself and be patient not to go into the things that Allah Ta'ala forbid. وَكَذَلِكَ الدَّاعِيَةُ إِلَى اللَّهِ, that is for a normal person. And also, whoever is being calling people towards Allah, to the callers towards Allah, man ahwaja ma yakunu ilaiha, min ahwaji ma yakunu ilaiha, they are from the most people or most person that needs towards this rule. Wa huwa yasiru fi tariqid da'wati tawil, because he is actually going into a road of da'wah, a road of calling towards Allah that is so long. You don't know when the result will come. So you try to call people to do the prayer, to do the salah, to come and pray, to come and to not going to the to maksiat place. So the road is so long. You don't know when they will answer you. You don't know. Wal mali'u bil ibtila bi khair wa syarri, and also being filled up, the road is filled up with trial, with goodness or badness. Goodness trial also can divert you, can make you forgetting your reason of calling towards Allah. Wa khususan idza kana la yajidu mu'inan wala nasira, especially when the caller towards Allah, the da'i, doesn't have anybody to help, doesn't have any helper or any assistance to help him. Bal qad yajidu munahidan wa mu'adiyan, but maybe he will get those who oppose him being enemy towards him. That he will get. But getting people to help him, that is so little. So in that sense, to remember, wal-aqibatul muttaqin is so important. To make sure that you don't run away from the road, the way of calling people to Allah. Yaqulu Shaykhuna bin Baz, our Sheikh bin Baz, Alam bin Baz rahimahullah, he said, ba'da an dhakara shay'an mimma tu'radu lahu amama lahu imam dakwah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam min adha wa ibtila. Our Sheikh Al-Allamah Ibn Baz rahimahullah said, after he mentioned something that being faced by the leader of the du'at, the leader of the caller towards Allah, who is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, min adha wa ibtila, from hurting and also from trial. He said, Syekh bin Baz said, فَكَيْفَ يَطْمَعُ أَحَدٌ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ أَنْ يَسْلَمَ. Then how can anybody have the feeling or want to be safe after that? Means that after, if the Prophet facing something like that, then why should you feel safe that you are not getting what the Prophet ﷺ is getting? How can you feel safe? How can anybody feel safe after listening about the story of the Prophet? Aw yaqul, or to say, mata kuntu muttaqiyan aw mu'minan fala yusibuni syai'. When I am actually pious, being pious, or being a believer, then nothing will ever befall upon me. How can you say something like that? And you are seeing what happened to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Laisal amru kadhalika. The matter is not like that. The story is not like that. Bal la budda min imtihan. Then actually there's no way except you will be tested from the test. Wa man sabara hamidal aqibata. Whoever being patient, then he will be grateful to whatever the ending he get. If he try to be patient, like remembering the story of the Prophet, so he be patient. Then in the end, he will praise the result of the patient that he did. Kama qala azza wa jalla, as being said by Allah azza wa jalla, fasbir innal aqibata lil muttaqin. Be patient. Verily, indeed, the good ending is for those who are pious. Wal aqibatul taqwa, and the ending is actually for the piety. Fal aqibatul hamidatu li ahli taqwa. So the good ending or the praised ending is for those who to the people of piety. Mata sabaru wahtasabu akhlasu lillah. Whenever they are being patient, hoping reward from Allah, and they be sincere towards Allah, wajahadu a'da'ahu, and they fighting towards fighting the enemy of Allah, wajahadu hadhihi nufus, and they also fighting their own self, their own desire. Fal aqibatu lahum fid dunya wal akhirah. Then the ending is for them in this world and the last day. Kama qala azza wa jalla, as being said by Allah azza wa jalla, walladina jahadu fina and whoever is actually struggling in our way for us, lanahdiyannahum subulana, we will surely guide them our ways. Wa inna Allah lama'al muhsinin, and verily Allah is with those who people who are doing good. Then Allah Ta'ala with them. Fa anta ya Abdullah, Syekh bin Baz said, for you, oh the servant of Allah, ya Abdullah, fi ashaddil hajati ila taqwa rabbaka wa luzumiha, you are really needs to be pious towards your God, towards your Lord, and also continuously in that taqwa, wal istiqamata 'alaiha, and being straight inside the taqwa, walau jara ma jara min imtihan, even though whatever happen from a trial from Allah, walau asabaka ma asabaka min al-adha, even though whatever befell upon you from the hurting, or istihza, or also from the say making fool, being said as a fool by the enemy of Allah. They say you are fool. Then they actually saying bad to you, but you still must stay on that path. Aw minal fisqatil mujrimin fala tubali. Also, if the shaming came from those who actually going away from obeying Allah, or also from those who do badness. Fala tubali, don't ever care about that. Don't ever care. Wadhkur rusulu alaihi wassalatu wassalam. Remember the prophet, the messenger, upon them salawat and salam. Wadhkur atba'ahum bi ihsan. And also remember about those who follow them goodly, with good manners. Faqad udhu, they being hurt. Wastuhzi'u bihim, they being shamed off by people. Wasukhiru bihim, people are saying bad to them or making fun of them. Walakinnahum sabaru, but they have passion. Fakanas lahumul aqibatul hamidatu fid dunya wal akhirah. So for them, the good ending, the praise ending in this world and the hereafter. Fa anta ya akhi kadzalika isbir wasabir. Then you, my brother, also like that, you have to have patience, and you have to be patient, to help others to be patient also to each other. Don't ever left out anybody from being patient in that word of Allah. Wa mafhumu hadhihi al-qa'idati al-Qur'aniyyati al-muhkamati, and the understanding of this Quranic this fixed Quranic rule, or the wise Quranic rule, anna kulla man lam yakun taqiyan fi ahwalihi, that whoever is not being pious in all his condition, all his situation, aw af'alihi, or his doing, fala akibata lahu hasanatan, then though there's no for him the ending that is good. Wa in umhila zamanan, even though he may be stalled by Allah for a duration, maybe 10 years, 20 years, Allah Ta'ala let him do everything he want. Allah Ta'ala stall any punishment for him, even though Allah Ta'ala stall that thing. Aw turika dahran, or being left out for many years, many 100 years, being left out. Wa hadhihi sunnatullah fi khalqihi, but this is the nature of Allah in his creation. When he is actually dealing with his creation, that is the way he do it. Wa qad kana Syekh Islam Taimiyah yastadillu bi hadhihi al-qa'idati al-Qur'aniyyati, dan Qur'aniyyati wal aqibatu lil muttaqin wa bi amsalha ibana hujum tatar ala bilad Islam. Then essentially he said that the Syekh Islam Taimiyah have get an understanding, yastadil, making evidence from this Qā'idah, this Quranic rule, and also likewise whatever rules that is actually similar to it, in the beginning, or in the beginning of the Tatar, the Mongol, when they came to strike upon the nation of Islam. They are moving from China going down towards the all the country and going up to towards the European country, but they're being stopped by Islam. So when this happened, when the strike of Tatar, the Mongol, upon the nation of Islam, wa kana yuqsim billah anna Tatar lan yunsiru, and he Shaykh Islam Taimiyah, because of that rule, he was saying by saying by Allah, in the name of Allah, that the Tatar, the Mongol, will not ever become victorious. Bal sayukhdaluna wa yuksaruna wa yankasiruna. They will be hopeless, and also they will be defeated. At that time, when they are coming with all the strength they have, no people will think something like that. But Shaykh Islam Taimiyah, he said that because the rule of Quran, the rule of Allah, that the ending must be for the pious. They are not pious people, then they will not get that promise from Allah. Wa kana mimma qala hinaha, and among things that being said by him, by Ibn Taymiyyah at that time, wa'lamu aslahakumullah, know all of you, may Allah Ta'ala make you all better, anna nasrata lil mu'minina, that the victory is actually for the believers, wal aqibatul muttaqin, and the good ending, the ending is for the pious. Wa anna Allah ma'al ladhina taqaw, and Allah Ta'ala is surely with those who are actually pious, wal ladhina hum muhsinun, and those who are they are actually doing goodness. Wa haula'il qaum mahkuruna ma'mukuna, and those people, the Mongol people, they will be defeated. They will be defeated. They will not success. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala nasiruna alayhim, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us, we make us victorious upon them. Muntakimin lana minhum, that he will pay back for us towards the Mongol. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahil aliyil azim, and there is no hope and no strength except with Allah, the most highest and also the most great. Fa abshiru bi nasrillahi ta'ala, then get a glad tiding, get good news, get a good news about the help from Allah Ta'ala. Wa bihusni akibatih, and also with a good ending from him. Wa hadzal amru qad tayaqqannahu wa tahaqqaqnahu walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. And this matter, we actually really convinced with it, and we realizing it, and all praises be to Allah, the Lord of all the Lord of all the living, all the universe. So he said something like that when the Mongol is actually coming with all the strength they have. Something that we cannot be taught, except because he is convinced by the rule of Allah, the rule that we are learning today. Wal aqibatul muttaqin. It's actually some of my friend that I met, or my elder friend. He said that why the Arabs doesn't really care about the Illuminati or the conspiracy, the secret nation, secret group from the European country, from the Westerners. They're actually taking over the Islam nation. As if they actually doesn't do anything. So I said to him, because those people believe that the Prophet ﷺ said, whatever happened to his people, to our people, the Muslim, in the last day before the Qiyamah, before the last hour, in the end, Allah Ta'ala will return everybody to have a good nation, or a good Khalifah that will govern all the people like being governed by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because that is the ending that will happen. So for them, They said that anything will happen today. We cannot do anything. It's okay. Then we just wait when Allah Ta'ala send to us Mahdi or send to us Isa. We do what we were doing, but we don't ever worry about that, because we know that Allah Ta'ala in the end will give the good ending to the pious. So do piety. Don't stack your rice. Don't stack mineral water, but stack your taqwa. Build up your taqwa, because that is the thing that will help you to whatever is coming before the last hour. Before the last hour. Allah marzuqna taqwaka. Oh Allah, give us to have taqwa, to have piety towards you. Waj'alna min ibadikal mukhlasin, and make us, oh Allah, to be among your chosen servants. Not the because shaitan or iblis, when he want to he promised want to misguide the children of Adam. He said, I will make them misguided illa ibadaka minhumul mukhlasin, except from among your servant who are being chosen by you. Then we hope that Allah Ta'ala choose us and make us better. Alhamdulillah. We stop there today. Do you have any question? Okay. What is it?
Assalamualaikum, Ustaz.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, I have a question regarding people or tribes, for example, in South America, in Amazon, that has never ever heard of Islam. Okay, so we thought that Allah determines our deeds and our place. First thing is through salat, but these people that have never heard of Islam do not know how to do salat. So how does Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala determine their place in paradise?
Okay, people who actually doesn't met any prophet, is actually that the equivalent understanding. People who doesn't know anything about the prophet or doesn't know anything about Allah. So if we look into this matter, there is a hadith in Musnad Ahmad. Number, wait, I have the number. In Musnad Ahmad. Wait. Baik, Musnad Ahmad, the hadis number 16310. 310. 1610. The Prophet said about there is four people will make an argument in front of Allah. Means that when Allah Ta'ala want to send them to the hell, so they make an argument. The first one is a deaf person. Deaf person doesn't listen anything. Second person is a stupid person. You say, okay, stupid. No. Mentally retarded. You can say, talk to them, but they actually not really, not the crazy person. Not the crazy person. Like a crazy person. Ahmak. A stupid person. Cannot think correctly. And the third one is Rajulun Harimun. There's a person that is so old until he's doesn't remember anything. And the last one, a person that died in the time of there's no prophet. So all of them will argue. The first person will say, "Oh Allah, yes, your messenger did came to me, but I cannot listen anything. He talk. I don't listen anything." At that time, before the sign language, I think that's actually reasonable for us to understand that you cannot convey any message to that person. But right now, today, in our time, we can see that the deaf person can say, "I love you." So more than that, you can teach them. Okay. The second one is actually the stupid person, or we can say like crazy person. He said that yes, your prophet, your messenger came, but at the time when he came, I was being stoned by little children and with stone, and also with dry stool or dry tahi, actually, like feces, dry feces, because that is the nature before. Now, right now, we will cane the children if they do something like that. Before this, children have that I say freedom to make fun towards the crazy person. So he said that your prophet did came, but I being stoned by the children, I cannot understand anything. The third person said, your prophet did came, oh Allah, but at that time I have already Alzheimer. I don't remember anything. And the last person said, there's no prophet being sent to me. So Allah Ta'ala took from them an oath that He will send to them a messenger, and they will listen to this messenger, whatever he told them to do. At the end of that, at that time. So Allah Ta'ala sent to them a messenger, and the messenger told them to go into the hell. Jump. If they jump, the Prophet said, if they jump with the command of the messengers, the messenger being sent by Allah, the hellfire will become safe and also cool for them, cool and also safe for them. But if you can imagine that maybe some of them being told to do that will not do whatever being told to them. The person is actually surely, if you being sent to them in this world, messengers being given hearing, sound mind, not being Alzheimer, he will still not following the prophet in this world, because at that time, if they can run away to not obey the messengers, how can they obey the messengers in this world? So the prophet did say about that trial. But that is one answer being given. But the other thing is actually you have to know that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala have given all of us, all the human being, guidance. But either the person realizing it or not, or ignoring it or not. Because once you have that thinking inside your head, if you don't follow it, then Allah Ta'ala will consider you as a person that is actually going against His guide. Once before, I have a discussion with a researcher from He is actually not a Muslim, but he pretending to be a Muslim to gather information at that time. But he's what the way he said or he talked, he is actually wanting to say that in Islam is the prophet, but in the Hindu is their gods. Because if you look into the story of gods or being whoever being worshipped inside the Hindu religion, some of them is actually similar with the prophet in Islam. Like Jonah, the story of Jonah, Yunus being gobbled by fish, about the story of Abraham, actually quite similar. So he want to say because want to make the Indian society, the Hindu society in Malaysia to become about Muhammad SAW. He said that Muhammad is just another god, that like the gods before. So I opposed that from him. I said he cannot say something like that. So the discussion become heated, and in the end he say something. He said that you said that everybody must follow Islam, must believe Muhammad, must find the truth. But you see, in India, there's 1 billion people, because they have not 900 million something, 1 billion people in India. Wake up, they are actually looking at the statue, at the stone, and everything that they worship. And you suddenly want to say to them that you have to embrace Islam? How can that be? Even he said, is God making jokes? That in India, 1 billion people waking up to worship the statue, and suddenly you want to say to them that you have to enter Islam. How? So I said to him, I have a story. This story is actually when I was in Yemen, one of our sister came from Malaysia. She is actually a Hindu, from original Hindu. Her father is actually a priest, a Hindu priest. She was being interviewed by the television of Yemen about her experience embracing Islam, reverting to Islam. So she told the story in Malay. I got the cassette. I translated it for her, for the television station, TV station. So they presented it after I translated the interview. So she said, what he said, that I want to teach this UM researcher. I said that she is actually her father. He said, my father is a Hindu priest. So he have the authority to make the statue, and even to insert into the statue life. They have some ritual to make sure that the statue is becoming alive. That's why sometimes, if you look into the society in Malaysia that have a religion, after Islam, then you can see that the Hindu have the strongest, better than the Chinese or the other group. Why? Because sometimes when they enter the temple, there's no wind and everything. Suddenly, the bell being struck, and when they are sitting in front of the statue, they felt about the statue putting hand on their head and everything. There's a jinn. So the ritual that our sister father is doing, that to insert the jinn for every statue that they made to be worshipped. So she said, when she was 5 years old, she is actually inside a Hindu family. Her father is a Hindu priest. She said that when she was 5 years old, she said to her father, Father, you made the God. You created the God. You inserted the life into the God. Why must you worship the God? You are better than the God. 5 years old. 5 years old. The father became angry and said, don't say nothing, something like that. So she actually just zipped her mouth, but inside her head, the question is still there. That making her embracing Islam after she was an adult, become a woman, and she is actually a specialist nurse after that. Married to a Hindu, got a child, a daughter. Then after that, embrace Islam and marry a Muslim guy from Johor. So anyway, I said to that researcher, if that girl, 5 years old, can understand, do those people in India, 1 billion, nobody is thinking about that. Everybody is so stupid, nobody thinking about that. It's actually quite harsh word I use. I said, it's really in India, adakah semua bangang sangat tak boleh faham? Because they have the rocket scientists, they have all the lawyers and everybody who actually have good mind, sound mind. How can they didn't think about that? If that 5-year-old can think, then what about those adults who didn't want to think about it even a little? Then because of this story, The teacher is actually, he said about that after I said it. He said, why are you defending God? Why are you defending God? I said, yes. Why shouldn't I defend my God? I know he is all doing all the truth. Everything he's doing is right. Then why should I oppose him? I said. So anyway, from that story, if you can relate to the story about those people in the southern America, and when they are doing that type of life, I don't think nobody is ever not being given by Allah the guidance. Maybe the thing is being taught by them, but they ignore. They ignore it. That is actually the thing that we must know, that Allah Ta'ala never ever left anything without guidance. Everything being guided by Allah. The sun being guided by Allah. The moon. The speed of the moon. The speed of the sun. The speed of everything in the universe is being guided by Allah. The leaf of the tree is being guided by Allah. So if Allah Ta'ala guide everything, even He give guide to the baby of turtle. You know the baby of the turtle. The turtle, when the turtle came to the seashore, when the turtle lay egg there, she covered the hole and she went back. The turtle, the small turtle, when they hatch, the mother didn't left any sign or instruction, but they know they are turtle. They will go back to the sea, not to the village. Never ever a turtle go wander into the village. If Allah Ta'ala give guidance like that to that turtle, why shouldn't He give guidance to us? Everything being guided by Allah. So we afraid that some people is saying no guidance for them, for this or the person. They are saying that because they want an excuse, give an excuse that not believing Allah is actually permissible for anybody to not believe in Allah. We're afraid the usage is like that, not really about the just, about the fairness, but really is about it's really about want to give an excuse so that he doesn't believe and is being given by Allah authority for that. Clear? Okay, Alhamdulillah. So we'll finish our class today. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanallah anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.